Hello and welcome, my name is Charlotte and I am the High Heel Stitcher here on Flosstube and on Instagram. Welcome or welcome back. It's been about 3 months since my last video. My stitchy bug had completely disappeared. I do want to thank those who commented on my last video and who reached out to me checking to see if I'm okay. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, so thank you so much. So it is currently the 6th of November, about 8 o'clock in the evening, and it's been 3 months since my last video. So I've not really been stitching. I think I've been trying to force myself to stitch. I have had a little bit of stitching and I did manage to complete my 33 while 33 challenge. It was a little bit touch and go at the end, but I did manage to do it. So I'm going to show you the final projects that I started, and I have had 2 finishes. One is a finish of a previous start and one is a start and finish. So let's get straight onto it. This video, there's probably not going to be that many stats, mostly because I am not very organised and I haven't done them. So let's get started. The first one, the first finish is Stupid Sexy Flanders. I stitched for my husband. This was started on the 24th of June 2025 and finished on the 20th of September 2025. It's stitched on an 18 count blue Ada using the called for DMC, but I did have to sub out this light blue because I didn't have the DMC. This is by Happy Little Sloth and I don't think it's available anymore. I may be wrong, it was on her Etsy, but when I checked the other day it wasn't there, so I don't know if it had just expired or if it's been pulled. Yes, very happy with that, and it was birthday present for the husband. So my second finish is a start and finish, and it's called Nice Butt by Quartonian Creations. And it's still in the hoop from when I started and finished it, so I should have taken it out, but I didn't. So this was started on the 23rd of September and finished on the 24th, so it only took 2 stitchy sessions, and this was my final 33 while 33 project. Stupid Sexy Flanders was start number 24, so this is start number 33. This is stitched on, I think it's an 18 count vintage country mocha using DMC 08. I'm really happy with how that came out. Maria does this in 2 different styles, so she does the monochrome, and she also has a multicoloured version. I didn't have any of the threads to do the multicoloured version, so I just opted for the monochrome, but this piece of fabric is big enough to restitch it, so the plan is to restitch it in the coloured version and have them both together. So yes, absolutely loved stitching that. I just love the scarabs. That's that one. Okay, so those were my 2 finishes. My next new start, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I had 6 new starts to finish my 33 or 33. Nice Butt was one of them. Start number 28 was One Down 3 Across by Long Dog Samplers. This one has given me a right alt headache, and I think I'm potentially going to restart it for a second time. So that's leaking. So if you remember, back in May I went to the Sweary Stitches retreat and I brought some fabric there from the Stitchy Ferret, who has currently gone AWOL, but we're not going to talk about that. So I got some fabric from her to stitch this on, and it was red fabric, which is this fabric. It looks amazing. So the plan was red background, green boxes, gold lettering, and then these animals and the snowflakes and that in white. So I started stitching. And this is as far as I got. Not very far at all. And you can see, oh, it looks like there's 3 different greens. And that's because there is 3 different greens, because I wasn't happy with the green that I chose. So I pulled out another one. So I originally picked this green, and I loved it. I was like, yes, but do I love it enough? So then I picked a slightly lighter green. I was like, no, don't like that one. So then I picked like a mid green, and I think that was my favourite. I hate this fabric. This fabric is horrible to stitch on, absolutely vile. It looks amazing. It's absolutely vile to stitch on at all. It's stiff, it's uneven, it's just, there was some colourful language, and I can't stitch on that at all. Can't stitch on that fabric. So I put it down and I was like devastated, because I do have another piece of red fabric, but I was saving that for a different project. So I was like, fine, let's invert the colours. So instead of red fabric, let's go green fabric. So we pulled out some green fabric, and I've gone for one of my favourite KLT charting fabrics, which was Mistletoe Wreath. And this fabric I absolutely love, and it's so nice to stitch on. Absolutely love it. So that is wonky. That is as far as I've got on that. So I did a little bit of the red border, and I started with the gold. There's 2 different gold in there. And although I absolutely love this fabric, you can't see the gold. And I really wanted the gold on there. It's just not showing up. I tried outlining it in black, and that just didn't look right either. So I was like, oh, I'll swap it for a different colour. Maybe I'll just do it maybe I'll do it in like a darker green or what. But I really wanted to do it on the red fabric. That's what I envisioned. So I was like, so I was talking to Daryl. I was almost in tears talking to Daryl because I was so upset. And he said, why don't you just do it on a different red fabric? I said, I only got 1 piece of red fabric, but I've saved it for something else. why don't you just buy another piece? Because red hand-dyed fabric is quite hard to come by. And then he said, yeah, but you did my Mr. Burns mermaid on red fabric. Can't you just use some of that? I was like, he's a genius. It doesn't have to be hand-dyed. So what I got to do, a red fabric, just solid red. And I didn't even think about that. I was so set on red hand-dyed or just hand-dyed. It didn't even think to me to just go for a standard colour. So I now have some, and I will be restarting this at some point with my original colourway of green, white and gold. So yes, that was my little hoo-ha with this project. Although I love this fabric and it would have looked amazing, I did want it on red. So I will unpick this and use this fabric for something else. I will probably just throw away that red fabric. I'm not going to stitch on it at all. Yeah. We're going to move on. Anyway, my next new start, these were both started pretty much on the same day, the red and the green, and that was the 17th of August 2025. My next new start, I literally only got like less than 100 stitches on, and it is, so this one was started on the 20th of August, and if you know, it was the 3rd anniversary of a good friend's passing. So each year a few of us stitch a hippo or something like that, and my new start for this year was the Chaotic Charting Kaleidoscope hippo, and it is stitched on a piece of Erica fabric. I don't even know if this is the right way up, but we'll go with yes. And that's as far as I got. That tiny little red triangle. This is a piece of Smoky Rose. It's a little like purpley pinks and whites. 18 count. And that's as far as I got on that one. It was literally just a quick put some stitches in to say I've started it. So that's that one. The plan is to have it finished on or by the 20th of August next year, ready for another hippo new start. Not yet decided what that one will be, but it will be a hippo. So that was start number 29 of 33, of my 33. The next one again was just throw some stitches into a project. I decided to start one that I've had in my stash for a while, that was a kit that was fully kitted up, that I also have the PDF for, because Pattern Keeper is life. And that is Pirate Ollie Owl by Chaotic Charting, and if you know me, I absolutely love a pirate. This was a full kit. I did swap out the fabric because I do not like 14 count Ada, and that's what came in the kit. And that's literally all I did. So that is the start of the bottom of the eye patch and around his beak. I think this is just a piece of 18 count Ada that I had in my stash. So yep, that's going to be a good one for Myth for next year. And again, it was just one thread pulled off, stitched. So 26th of August was when I started that one. My 31st new start of the challenge is Bone Garden by Flossy Fox Shop. This was originally a Patreon exclusive, but I believe is now available on her shop. I was part of her Patreon for a few months. Actually, this was the chart that made me join her Patreon. So I absolutely love this. So there was a few of us were starting we've called it the Lady Garden Sal, and there was a designer on Etsy that had different gardens. So one was a dinosaur, one was like under the seam themed, and they're really cute. And I was like, oh, so I was going to start the dinosaur. A couple of us, I think Jen started the dinosaur, HA did the cats, I think Lou did the cats, Abby did the Abby did the dinosaurs, and Kim did the under the sea. So that, but then I was just like, oh, do I want to do the dinosaurs? I do love the dinosaurs. And then I saw this called Bone Garden, and I was like, that sort of still fits the thing. It's not the same designer. So I asked in the chat, does this count? And they were like, yeah, there's no rules. So I started Bone Garden. And I originally started it on Pompey Tides. But as you can see, oh, see, it's showing up quite well there, but it's not really showing up well in real life. So this was Pompey Tides Sparkly by KLT Charting. So I'll just frog that out and use that fabric for something else. So I was like, no, I'm not happy with that. So instead I decided to swap for a 2024 Advent exclusive called 4 Calling Birds. And this is where I got to. And you just, oh, it looks so good. I am so happy that I swapped fabrics, because I mean, just look at that. It's, oh, you can't really, there's a sparkle. Oh, it's just amazing, absolutely amazing on this fabric. I know HJ and Lou have finished theirs. I don't think anyone else has had a finished yet. But Abby's smashing it. I think we're all smashing it. Everyone apart from me is smashing it. That's all I've got. And there's still a lot to go. Yeah. I just, oh, it just shows up so well on this fabric. So yes, that one was started on the 20th of September, so the first new start at the cottage. My second new start at the cottage, and the penultimate new start in my 33 while 33 challenge, is one that I knew I was always going to start from the beginning of this challenge. Is it sparkly? It's not going in the bag. Right. And if I don't put it back in the bag, I will lose the bag. So, There we go. Right. Penultimate. New start that I was going to start from the beginning, and it is Glendon's Place Poltergeist Pirates. Let's see if I can get that without the glare. No. Okay, you're coming out. Actually, do I have... I think I've photocopied the front. Yes. There we go. Right. So that is the project. Absolutely love it. I did spend probably about 3 weeks worth of evenings and lunches not recharting, but digitizing this pattern, because it's a paper pattern and there is no way I am using a paper pattern for something that was big. So I spent weeks digitizing this pattern so that I could import it into Pattern Keeper, and I did, and I managed it, and it's so much easier. But it's obviously personal use, not sharing it, nothing like that. But oh, it's so much easier having it on Pattern Keeper. So this is how much I have done. It's just over 1,000 stitches, and this fabric is called Bayou, and it's by Sparklies. It's a 32 count even weave, and that is how far we've got. I just love this fabric. I just love how it's looking. I do sort of wish, because this is a lot of block stitching, that I got the 18 count, but the reason I went for the even weave was because on the skulls, on the ghosts, on the parrot, the eyes, on that, there's 3/4 stitches and 1/4 stitches, and on an old project, my snow globe stocking that was gifted to a work colleague, that had a lot of 1/4 stitches, 1/2 stitches, 3/4 stitches, and I did it on 16 count Ada, and that was absolutely horrible to try and pierce the fabric. So I've gone, nope, we'll get the even weave. But yeah, absolutely love this. Oh, Lou and Jen are just flying through this. Mine will probably take ages. I think after I charted it, I think it said that there was 32,000 stitches, and that doesn't include the back stitch. Everything is back stitched. Everything has black back stitching around it. Everything. So this is a mammoth of a project, but I am going to love every stitch of it. And then my final new start was the start and finish, which was the nice butt. So, and that was my 33 while 33 challenge done. I am now pretty much new started out. There will be no more new starts for a while. I will try and go most of 2026 without a new start, but I'm not gonna go 2026 will be no new starts. I'm not gonna restrict myself with that. I am planning to do a new another video at some point soon, doing my 2026 plans, because I know quite a few people have started doing those. And I've also noticed people have started doing their whip parades, which I absolutely love. I love whip parade season. So yes, hopefully I will be getting a whip parade done as well at some point. I want to start doing these more regularly. I always say that, but I never end up doing it. My stitchy bug seems to be coming back, so I'm really happy with that. So I have stitched on a few other pieces, most of which are new starts that I've had in this challenge. So one of the ones that I've been trying to do and get finished, and I'm hoping to have finished before Christmas because it should be a Christmas present, is Great White Shark, which is here. When you saw it before, I'd literally only had like a little bit round here or round here. I don't even know where it was, but I think I had like 200 stitches in it, and this now has just over 2,000. So I'm just over halfway. I think I'm 53%. I don't have the colour to go in here, so I need to do a shop with Kim. But yes, this is Great White Shark. I can't remember the designer, but hopefully I'll put it up. It's not too bad stitching on the black fabric. I'm making sure that I only stitch on it during the day, but it has made me realise that although I don't hate it, I'm not hugely enjoying it. So yeah, I think I've done about 2,000 stitches on that one. The next one that I have been working on, I do apologise if you heard that. That was Rabi and I think Izzy. There's fireworks going off all around, and although they're not really that fussed with it, sometimes they will just bark and then she'll just settle down. I'm hoping. Yeah, she doesn't. They don't get spooked with the fireworks, which is good. Yeah. So my next project that I have been working on was my jigsaw dolphin. Pretty much everything up to here is fully stitched. I've got half of that one and half of that one to do, and then I can move the hoop and finish the rest of the dolphin. So this was my make project. I was hoping to have it done by the end of the year. I've got just about 1,000 stitches left to go, so I may pull it out for our Christmas meal, but I'm not sure. So, yes, absolutely love this. This is an 18 count Pompey Tides by KLT Charting, and the needle minder is by Maloka Designs. And then the last project that I have been working on, I've not really done too much. I've only worked on it for the last couple of days and done like 100 stitches, 68 stitches, absolutely nothing. Is Three of a Kind by Bothy Threads. This is hopefully going to be finished by the end of the month. It's going to be a Christmas present for my mother, so I need to get it done. As far as I'm aware, because again, where this is a paper chart, I don't have the full statistics, but I did digitize most of the pattern that I hadn't stitched yet, and based on that, it looks like it's going to be about 9,500 stitches. And as it stands at the moment, I've done about 4,500, so I'm just coming up to halfway on this one. And that's as far as we have got. I have swapped the fabric out. Again, it comes in, the fabric that comes in the kit is 14 count, but I do not like stitching on 14 count, so I've swapped it for this 18 count yellow splash by Zweigart. And I really love how that's coming out. So this koala is pretty much all done, apart from this little bit here, and then moving on to there. And again, Needle Minder by Maloka Design. I'm trying to do the back stitch as I go, but now that I've put it on Pattern Keeper, that one doesn't have the back stitching, so I may end up leaving the back stitching till last. I have also put all the flosses for that on floss drops. So it's easier because I don't really like their thread organisers. They're good for some, but I prefer, so I've put them on floss drops that I made. And that's that. Then the final, I think I said that was the final, but that's not the final. The other one that I've been working on, I pulled this one out for the last couple of days, for the last round of Myth, for the Rumble. It's just finished. We're now doing, there's now a break challenge called the TKR event festival, the Killer Rabbit festival, so it should be fun. But yes, I got some stitching on there. So I worked down here, I filled in that, worked there, and did. So this is just an 18 count Easy Grid Magic Guide, whichever the Zweigart one is. I think I did about 900 stitches on. Oh, I did print. I thought I printed off. Oh, there we go. That's what it'll look like when it's done. So I'm working in this bit here. And that is all my stitching that I have done in the last 3 months. Not a huge amount, but I think August, September and October I barely hit 15 days stitching in each month, so I spent half the month just doom scrolling pretty much, because I just could not get the motivation to stitch. The cottage getaway that we did help, but then the weekend after that, Dara and I went away for our birthdays. We went to Centre Parks in Woburn. That was fantastic, had a great time, but that sort of killed my stitch bug just a little bit again. But it's slowly, so far in November I have stitched every day apart from today, but I will get some stitches in today. But considering it's only the 6th, that's not really a huge clunch. It is an accomplishment, considering the last few months I have barely stitched anything, so it is an accomplishment. Anyway, let's do plans. So what is going to happen in the next 2 months up to Christmas? I'm hoping to finish 3 of a Kind, my Great White Shark. If I can get both of them done and finished, I am going to concentrate on stitching Mayari. I would absolutely love to get her done for the Bella Filipina retreat next May, but unless I make her a focus to finish. I don't think she will be. So we will wait and see. I will do a separate video on my plans for 2026, and they do involve those. What are those, you ask? They are little treasure chests. Well, I say little treasure. They are little treasure chests. I thought they were absolutely mini, like that big, but they're massive compared to that. So there's 10 of them in there. So I am going to be using them next year. So, I haven't really been watching Flosstube the last few months, so I haven't got any shout outs. I do have a little bit of haul. I still was purchasing, I just wasn't stitching. So, I know that not everyone enjoys haul, so if you are leaving me now, thank you very much for watching and sticking with me through my 3-month hiatus. I really appreciate each and every one of you, so thank you very much. If you are staying, there's not a huge amount of haul, but there is a little bit. So the first bit that I got was this Bothy Threads Sally King design subscription box thing that they released. And in it you got an exclusive kit, snowflake wooden embroideries, felt ribbons and beads, a shoe art calendar, and a hot chocolate spoon. So yes, I got it, I opened it, went, oh, I love it, and put it away. So I mean, it's so beautiful. And yes, the plan is I will be eating this at some point. It only says milk 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and it actually does say lactose, so fun. There's 3 little snowflakes. I think they are different designs. Yeah, they're different designs. And you get the little beads and sparkles and threads for each. 2 needles. Some ribbon. These little wormies. I'll put them in the lid, because no doubt if I drop one, Sarabi's going to eat it. That is the fabric, I believe, for the kit. Yeah, fabric, thread, felt for the kit. Then you've got the advent, it's not an advent calendar, it's just a calendar. Oh, and then the different ones. That I don't believe is a kit yet. That I don't believe is a kit yet. That one is, I've got that one. That one I don't think is. No. Yes? Yes, I've got that one. Yes. No. No. Yes, don't have it yet. Yes. Not sure if I have that one. Don't think I do. So, that's the calendar. And then the chart, which I am not going to show you, and it even comes with a cross stitch guide. So yes, I think what I will be doing is, again, similar to what I've done with the current bothy threads that I'm doing. I will probably digitize it, and it's just, I just feel like it's a lot easier to stitch, and I'm probably spending the same amount of time digitizing and stitching it that I would have if I'd just stitched from the paper pattern. It doesn't take long, really, to copy it. The only problem with the bothy threads is it doesn't come with the DMC numbers, so you're sort of having to match them up to DMC, which is fine. The one or two of the colours that I've chosen for 3 of a kind are not quite right, so it looks funny on the mock-up, but I'm not fussed about that. Next we have a project bag. From Hot Trotter Stitches, I believe. If not, I will put it up there. And I got the project bag and little pouch with it. But then, this is the Lion King, and it has Scar. You don't often see Scar, so I was just like, yeah, need that. So that, and she even put in a couple of stickers. Next we had another this one I got on Vinted. I don't know the actual business name, but I got this on Vinted, and it's poppered, and it's actually like a bobbin case. So, and it's got acorns and it's green, and I just absolutely love it. And then this was actually a really good price. So there's no actual business name, it just came with that. So I'm looking forward to using that. Oh look, there's my fabric. There's my red fabric. 18 count red. That's what I got. So, yes, I will be stitching, restarting that at a later date. And then got a thread pack from Kim. So that was my DMC. And we've got Pornstar Martini. That was the 18 count. Then we've also got it in 32 count. I got a little net with some threads. Some more Pornstar Martini threads. Beside the Seaside and Galactic Quest. Then, oh yeah, I ran out of bobbins, so I brought some more bobbins, and then I found them. And little donkey, because I could not resist getting this 2024 Advent exclusive thing. Yes, I already have a piece, but you can never go wrong with a second piece. So, yes, Nat and I went to the Farnborough Stitch Festival back, I think it was in August. Oh. So did that. I was like, I'm not going to buy stitchy stuff. I'm not stitching at the moment, it will just be a waste. So I tried to not buy any stitchy stuff. So instead I brought this little diamond art piece thing because it was Scar and I couldn't resist. The same store had these sparkle art card kits. So we had Festival Donkey. I think I'm going to frame them. I just get a little frame. Jack and Diane. And Bumble Buddies collection, Bo and Bumble. Absolutely love them. Popped in and got, oh yeah, it was loads of different, like it wasn't just sewing, it was like craft and all that. So there was fabrics and wool and all that, and there was people making stuff with metal and all sorts. So I was like, ah. So I saw this like crafter business called Carol Ann Spencer, All Things African and Beyond, and she made things with metal and beads. And I got this little hippo, Christmas hippo keychain, and then she had some little birds, and I was like, oh, is that a dodo? And she went, yes. And I don't know if it is fully a dodo or not, but we'll go with it's a dodo. So we got a little red one, and I got a little silver clear one. So that one's Daryl's, that one's mine. We were supposed to go to Marwell and do like a Lego dodo, but they'd completely sold out, so we didn't go. So when I saw them, I was just like, it's not the same, but it's something. I think they were only like £3 each, so that was really good. Then we stopped into one cross-stitch shop that was there called Sew Luxe Co, and she's actually quite local to us, and that's there thing. And I got this so cute little project bag that says my soul is fed by needle and thread, and it's green, obviously. So I think, yeah, you can get these like personalized to have your name on them. I decided I wasn't going to do that, but then I also got this needle minder, butterfly needle minder from her, some green scissors, and some floss drops by Kate Blanfooter. Yeah, really happy with that, and at the moment that's all being stored in there. So really happy with that. I did cave and buy a cross-stitch kit, and it's called Tree of Hope by Bothy Threads. Now I have the Sycamore Gap one, and this is like a sister piece to it, companion piece, so I had to get that one as well. Now, there was different artists there, and I love a dodo. Don't know what it is, I love a dodo, but at an art exhibition a couple of years ago, I saw artists who were selling them things, and I brought a dodo coaster, and I only got the one, and I regret not getting a second one. So I saw her and I was just like, oh, that looks like her, that, and then I saw the dodo coaster and I went, oh, it is her. So I brought another dodo coaster because I couldn't resist. And then I brought a piece of artwork. I do have a second piece of hers somewhere around here. I don't know where it is. Of a snow leopard. And the designer is Claudia Hahn. There. But yeah, so I bought the print of the dodo. I think I know where the other one is. I may be wrong. I was wrong. No, that's not that. It's a beautiful snow leopard anyway, and I love it. But yes, so we gotta get this one framed, and then Dara can get up in the wall. And I've been using the coaster. Well, my old coaster. I've not been using the new one, but it's been up here. So yes, so not cross stitch, but crafty. So really happy with that. And that's all I have to show you. I will do a quick life update on what has been going on, but not a huge amount has been. So not a lot of stitching has happened. My granddad is now out of hospital after his stroke. He is now in a care home, so it's good. We believe he is not going to be returning to his home, which is absolutely devastating, but he needs constant care now, so he is in the best place for him, and he seems happy there, which is the main thing. Unfortunately, he's all there in the head. His brain capacity has not been affected, which is really good. It's just his body is failing him, so it's upsetting, but he is in the best place that he can be, and it's just around the corner from work, so I pop in to see him during my lunch breaks, so that's quite nice. And the home allows dogs, so we have been taking the dogs in to see him, which he's happy with. He likes seeing the dogs, so yeah. Back in September we had the cottage. That was really good. I did have a little bit of a drama. We ordered a curry one night and it took 3 hours to turn up, and every time I called her, it'll be 10 minutes, it'll be 10 minutes. It wasn't 10 minutes. So when it finally arrived, we were missing items, of course. So I went to go, so I called them, went, it wasn't there, I'm going to come and collect what missing. They were like, no, it's there, 200%. It was not there. So I went to go collect the missing curries, and I mounted a curb and popped a tyre. Really. So there was anger, there was almost tears. It was not a good evening. But the lovely Jen came to my rescue. She and Abby went and got the curries and managed to get some freebies from them, so there. But I then had to call out. Dial a tyre the next day came, they replaced the tyre. They were really good. So if you're, you know, South Coast Hampshire and ever need to, Dial a tyre are amazing. I called them at like 8:30 in the morning on the Saturday, because this happened Friday night, the day that we arrived. Called them, they were there by 9:30, and he was done by like 9:45. Really good, really speedy, amazing. Cannot fault them, and it wasn't even that expensive considering he came out on a Saturday morning. So yeah, really happy with that. Well, not the fact that I had to buy a new tyre, which I had to replace like the month before because it was getting close to the legal limit, so I thought I'd just replace it, and then I had to replace it again, so I'm not impressed, but it's done now, and touch wood, it's fine. I am not going to try mount curbs in anger anymore, hopefully. So yeah, that was a really good week. We'd booked it for the full week, but I only went, so I stayed there for the weekend, popped back each day to walk the dogs, because I live in Fareham and it was over in Whiteley, so it was like a 15-minute drive, so I popped back, walked the dogs and that, so they still got their exercise, and then yeah, stayed there till Monday, and then went home Monday night, but then came back during the day, Tuesday, Wednesday. Decided Thursday I didn't go back, mostly because Friday we were going to Centre Parks, so I wanted to make sure that we had everything ready for that. Friday we went off to Centre Parks, had an amazing weekend. It was our birthday, so they had we got a bottle of champagne and some chocolates in the room. That was really good and nice of them. Part of the hotel was actually closed off for renovations, but that didn't really affect us, apart from the fact that one of the entrances was closed, so we had to just go in one of the others, so that wasn't too bad. That's fine. Spent a lot of time swimming, going around the rapids. That was a laugh. Really good food. Came back Monday. Yeah. What else has happened? Oh, that's it. I have potentially, well, no, I've discovered that I may be allergic to pecans. It is a completely random thing to suddenly figure out when you're 33, 34. So I've never really had a problem eating nuts. And then I brought a bag of mixed nuts from Asda, which had pecans in. I not normally in the other bags that I've eaten from like Sainsbury's or Aldi. So I was like, and I was then getting really funny after, like really lightheaded. My throat felt like it was closing, like there was a lump in there. I noticed my lips were swelling a little bit, and I was just like, this is really weird, so odd. I thought it was like a low iron thing. It was, I don't know what I thought, so I was like, and then I was monitoring when it was happening, and it was happening after I was eating these nuts. I was like, what is different from these ones to all the others? And I checked them out, and the only thing that is different is pecans. I'm like, oh, am I allergic to pecans? So I contacted the doctors and I said, look, this is what's happening, and I explained it to them, and they asked 101 different questions, and they went, it does sound like you have an allergy, a nut allergy, that is potentially tree nuts or specifically pecans. So, okay, where do we go from here? So they booked me in for an allergy blood test, which is in a couple of weeks, but they've also prescribed me an EpiPen in case I have a reaction. But I am just absolutely completely avoiding all nuts at the moment, because they want to see if it is pecans or if it is something else, or as well as. So I've got an allergy blood test coming up in a couple of weeks, and now have an EpiPen. It's a little bit. Spoke to family. None of them are aware of any family members that have like a nut allergy or a pecan allergy, so it's a little bit odd if it is, but it's not unusual, I guess. So yeah, so that's my life update. Work's still busy, work's getting busier and busier. Now we're coming up to January and the tax return season, so yeah, anyway, I think that's my life update, pretty much. I have waffled on for an hour now. I was hoping it was not going to be this long, but of course it is. So if you've watched this far, thank you very much for sticking with me, for staying subscribed if you have, or if you're a new subscriber, welcome. I really appreciate the comments, the likes, the interactions that I get on here on Instagram. I really appreciate it. So thank you all so much, and I will hopefully see you all again soon. Bye.